All right, players. So we are done with the season. And as I said, at the end, I was going to go over statistics again so that when you watch baseball, maybe you play the next time, maybe you attend a live game, you'll understand some of these statistics that you see maybe in on scoreboards or on television or in game booklets, things like that. So first things first, this was a really, really successful and fun season. We were successful on the field. We finished second in the league in the regular season, and then we won the tournament. So we are the spring 2024 season champions. So that's a really, really exciting thing. Congratulations, everyone. Everyone did a really, really good job playing this season and learning this season. We were also successful in learning the game and learning about process and what it takes to get to where we were, not focusing on the outcomes of things, but focusing on the process. Focus on those things that we can control, and helping each other, supporting each other, trusting yourself, finding what you are good at, what you can help someone else be good at, and how you can help pick them up. Those are really, really important things, and those are things that are going to carry with you far beyond after you're finished playing baseball. So that's what I want you to remember most from this season. It feels really, really good to win, and everybody should be happy about it. We should be excited about that. I really want you to remember those lessons we learned along the way. So now on to the statistics. We played 14 league games and two non-league games. So within the league, that includes the regular season and the tournament, we had 10 wins, two losses, and two ties. In all competition, that is the league, the tournament, and the two non-league games, out of our 16 games we played total, we had 11 wins, three losses, and two ties. So remember, all of these statistics down below include or come from the all competition games. So our winning percentage over the 16 games was 688. That means 68% of the time we stepped on the field, we won. That's really, really good. Our non-loss percentage was 813. That means 81% of the time we stepped on the field, we did not lose. Remember, that's basically that 11 wins and two ties divided by 16. We only lost three times this season. So that was really, really good. That's a really, really fun stat. Now it gets even better. Runs scored. We scored 77 runs over all competition. We allowed 41 runs over all competition. So our run differential this season was a plus 36. We scored 36 more runs than our opponents scored. That is really, really tough to do. That is really, really impressive. How did that happen? Let's get into that. We had 327 plate appearances over the season. We had 223 at bats. Remember, an at bat does not include results like getting hit by a pitch or a walk. So we had 223 at bats. Over our 327 plate appearances, we saw 1,422 pitches, or 1,422 pitches. That's how many pitches our opponents threw to us. We had 78 hits on the season, a really, really good number. Our average at the end of the season was 350. That was up. It was up from our beginning of the season. It was up in the middle of the season when we finished up again at 350. Our on-base percentage was 554. That means 55% of the times we got up to the plate, we were getting on base. And again, that increased as well from the beginning of the season to the middle of the season to the end of the season. So that's really, really good. We had 89 walks this year. We had 113 strikeouts this year, and we had 14 hit by pitches. Okay. So now let's look at our pitching, and let's look at how we did and how we made our opponents do. Over the course of the season, we had 7 different pitchers appear in games. Now, over all the season in those 7 pitchers, we had 32 different appearances. Remember, an appearance is anytime someone new goes into a game, whether that's the start of the game, they come in for a relief or anything like that. As far as pitches, we threw 1,266 pitches. So you compare that and you look at how many more pitches we made our opponents throw us than we had to throw them. We threw 156 less pitches to our opponents than they threw to us. That is really, really good for us. Over the course of the season, we played 55.67 or 55 innings and 55 and two-thirds innings because we did have one game that ended for time's sake. We faced 292 batters over the season. Now look at the number of plate appearances we had. We had 327 plate appearances to 292 batters faced that we faced as pitchers and we faced as defenders. So we had 35 more plate appearances than our opponents did. We recorded 153 outs and we recorded 141 strikeouts. Now, look at this number, 141 minus 113. We had 28 fewer strikeouts than our opponents did. That's a really, really good thing. And we walked our opponents 58 times. So again, we're in the positive differential there. We walked 31 more times than our opponents walked us, or that we walked our opponents, I should say. As far as hits, we had 78 hits. We gave up 24 hits. We had 54 more hits than our opponents did. Now, some of that includes toward the end of the season, we were counting more errors on when we were in the field because I knew what our expectations were and what our capabilities were as far as fielding. Whereas, when we were up to bat, I didn't know some of the capabilities of the other teams. So we didn't count as many errors on that side. We allowed 24, or we had 24 earned runs. We allowed 41 runs over all competition over the season. Earned runs were 24. That means ones that we put on base that were not put on base by an error or a run scored by an error or something like that. And we had 12 hit batsmen. So we got hit 2 more times than we hit our opponents. Now, our ERA, remember, earned run average. And earned run average is basically the number, or whenever we go out in a game to pitch, that's the expected number of runs that we are going to allow. Our ERA was 388. That is really, really good. Now, I want to go over something a little bit that's not on this list as well. When we talk about our batting average for the season ended up 350. Our opponent's batting average was 108. I'll say it again. Our opponent's batting average was 108. That means 10.8% of the times, almost 11% of the time they went up to the plate, they got a hit off of us. Our on-base percentage was 554. Our opponent's on-base percentage was 322. That means about 32% of the time that they went up to the plate, they were getting on a base. And that includes things like if they got hit by a pitch, or if they got walked, or if we committed an error. So you see how we were able to be so successful and how we were able to see, or how we were able to score 36 more runs than our opponents when you look at what our average was compared to our opponents, and especially what our on-base percentage was compared to our opponents. Again, we had a 350 batting average versus a 108 batting average of our opponents. We had a 554 on base percentage versus a 322 on base percentage for our opponents. So this was a really, really good performance. We did really, really well this season. All of you did really, really well. And kind of also, one thing I didn't talk about, we actually had 3 no-hitters this year. In the first game of the tournament, we no-hit the other team, they no-hit us. But remember, we hung in there, we were patient, we ended up getting hit by a pitch and walking in the run to win the game. But we threw 3 no-hitters. One April 18th, then we had one on I think the May 15th. That was actually a combined no-hitter. So we had 3 different pitchers contribute to that no-hitter. We gave up 1 error that scored some runs off of that. But we did a really, really good job as far as pitching. And then that first game of the tournament, we had a no-hitter as well. So really, really good season. Everybody should be really, really happy Everybody should be proud of the effort, and proud of learning the process and all the lessons that we learned throughout the season. And again, I hope knowing some of these stats will make it a little bit more fun to watch, whether it's on television, whether it's attending in live in person, or if playing in the future. So great season, everyone. I had a whole lot of fun. Thank you for playing. And parents, thank you for allowing us to work with the kids. It was a blast. Um, and now let's have fun and look forward to more learning and more being able to play this game. So thanks a lot, everybody. Bye.